Hey guys, I just wanted to apologise because as you can see I'm currently on holiday in Croatia. We batch recorded a bunch of episodes right before I went away, and unfortunately some issues happened with the audio, so we can't use the proper audio. We have to use the audio from the camera mic. The answers are still there. We wanted to release the episodes and provide that value, but the audio quality might not be quite as good as it usually is, so thank you for bearing with us, and I will see you when I get back home. In today's episode we talk about how to spin all the plates and all the projects as a creative entrepreneur. Welcome to episode 65 of the Honest Entrepreneur Show. My name is Tom Ross and let's get into it. Today we are pushed for time because we're pulling a late session recording. It's going really dark out even though it's the middle of June. So let's get straight into the question.
This question is from Colleen. I have a lot of projects going at once and struggle with figuring out how to prioritize my time. Help!
Hey Colleen, I feel you. Me too. I've got a ton of projects on at the minute, and each project seems to have projects within it. So maybe I'm not even the best person to ask, being completely honest. I'm trying my best. I'm sure you are too. So my first advice with this type of question is always don't beat yourself up. You're only human. I think if you're ambitious, like I am, then you tend to take on quite a lot. And so that can lead to feelings of you're not nailing all of it because you've spread yourself too thin. First of all, I would look at your mindset around this stuff and not be too hard and have a bit of self-compassion. That being said, I can give you my current experience. So we've got, I don't know how many, at least half a dozen big projects on the go at once. Not to mention the day-to-day spinning of all the plates with my company, then my personal brand, within the personal brand, doing this show, then multiple social platforms and redistribution of content. So it's a lot. It's a lot of plate spinning. I know the science and the statistics show that when you're laser focused on one thing, that's where you get the biggest results. And I can be envious a lot of the time, to be honest. If I look around the office and I see a team member where their one job is to do a single project or a single task and do it really well, I'm like, man, that looks really refreshing. I'd love to have that much focus and not feel pulled in all these different directions. But as entrepreneurs, as creative entrepreneurs, that's not the reality. We generally will have to spin the plates. So what am I doing that's working? I would say auditing is quite a big one. I think if you blindly plow ahead and just continually bolt bits on. I've talked about this before on the show. I call it Frankensteining, where you're just bolting bits on and it grows into this horrible monster. Because we can't add things on forever, right? Something has to give. There's only so many hours in the day. And so I think by regularly auditing what you're doing, the dog's going crazy out there by the sound of it, barking. By regularly auditing, you can actually strip stuff out that isn't working. And that's such a key thing. So let me say that again. By regularly auditing your projects, you need to proactively strip out and remove what isn't working. And that's the piece that most people tend not to do. They just keep doing it all, but at the same time keep adding more onto the pile. And then they wonder why they're burnt out. So I think it should actually be a regular exercise where you look at everything you're doing and then you're like, I'm not really enjoying that piece, or I'm not really getting any results from that piece, or that actually is horribly inefficient and needs changing in terms of the processes behind it. And you need to be trying to free up those hours because otherwise it just becomes unsustainable. And so, that's something I've learned again and again and again. Yet I still suck at it because I still try and do it all. And I still try and keep being ambitious and bolting bits on, which is why recently I keep, the day before I started work at 5 a.m. Because I just woke up because my mind was so busy in terms of projects. Then I went to Nottingham, went to this networking event, did some more work while I was there, got a train back, did some work on the train, ran in the office, and now I'm doing this show and I feel completely shattered and burnt out. That's an example of how not to manage your projects, people. You definitely need to prioritize rest, prioritize your sleep. And again, I've talked on the show about you can't always just become more efficient and work smarter too. There are limitations within that. So working smart is a good tip. I use time blocking. I have a calendar. I have a schedule. I fit stuff in. I prioritize. I use project management tools. We use Monday.com, which seems to be working really well so far. So all of that stuff is great, but we're not robots. So that has a certain ceiling. I can't just optimize and optimize and optimize, because then I will have zero downtime. I'll be running on coffee and Red Bull and just packing more and more and more into my day and doing it more and more efficiently and just cramming more in. And that too is a recipe for burnout. So I guess don't be afraid sometimes to actually take your foot off the gas a little bit and just have a bit of focus, have a smaller number of projects, do them well, and then move on to the next one, rather than trying to do it all at once and spin all the plates. That would be my advice. And if I'm being honest, it's more for myself than you, because I'm so guilty of not doing this the right way. Question of the day: do you feel like you spin plates as well as a creative entrepreneur? And how does that sit with you? How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm really enjoying the YouTube show. If you are too, then be sure to hit the subscribe icon and tick the little bell to get notifications when I post new content on this platform.